Hello, and thank you for your interest in the Maryland Port Administration dredging program. This presentation will provide you with a brief overview and background information about confined aquatic disposal and why the Maryland Port Administration is investigating it as a potential solution for maintenance material dredged from Baltimore Harbor shipping channels. The Maryland Port Administration was established in 1956 with the mission to stimulate the flow of waterborne commerce through the state of Maryland in a manner that benefits the citizens of the state. In support of the mission, the Maryland Port Administration partners with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to maintain the 150 nautical miles of channels that serve as a marine highway linking the port to the Atlantic Ocean. To ensure the specific depths needed for large ships, maintenance dredging is necessary because over time, the sediment naturally builds up in the channels due to wind and tidal action. On the map in yellow, you can see the 50-foot deep channel, the depth the largest modern ships need. Red depicts the northern approach channel that is maintained at 35 feet deep, which meets the needs of many commercial vessels. This annual maintenance dredging activity creates nearly 5 million cubic yards of dredged material, which is enough to fill up Ravens Stadium twice. Finding long-term placement capacity is a challenge in the Baltimore region. Currently, the Maryland Port Administration uses a variety of strategies to place dredged material, including dredged material containment facilities, or DMCFs, and implementing innovative reuse and beneficial uses of dredged material. A third management option, used by other ports, is being investigated and is called Confined Aquatic Disposal. Confined Aquatic Disposal is currently in the process of being vetted in Maryland. Not all dredged material is treated the same by regulators. In Maryland, harbor channel material is defined by state law as material to the northwest or inside the North Point Rock Point line, the dotted line you see on the map here. By law, material removed during maintenance dredging from the channels within this line must be placed in a confined manner in this region. Confined aquatic disposal is being investigated specifically for the management of harbor channel maintenance material, which is managed separately from bay channel material, which must be managed according to different regulations. The source location is the only factor distinguishing harbor channel material from other bay channel material. When monitoring sediment quality, localized sediment quality tends to be similar within and beyond the North Point Rock Point line. To ensure there is a long-term plan for the management of harbor channel dredged material, the Maryland Port Administration and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers collaborate very closely in the dredged material management program. The Army Corps of Engineers not only participates directly in managing dredging of federal navigation channels, but it also enforces rules related to dredging with the Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA. The Maryland Department of the Environment, or MDE, reviews all proposals to dredge, fill, or alter state tidal wetlands based on consistency with the Code of Maryland Regulations, also known as COMAR. The MDE may issue an authorization or recommend that the Board of Public Works issues an authorization if the proposed work is consistent with Maryland laws and COMAR. Additionally, the MDE will issue water quality certifications for all projects to ensure compliance with state water quality standards, including federal navigation projects that are exempt from state licensing. The Maryland Port Administration is the non-federal sponsor working closely with the Army Corps of Engineers on dredging and placement of dredged material from the Baltimore Harbor and Bay channels. The MPA and the Army Corps of Engineers work together to ensure there is safe passage for vessels calling on the Port of Baltimore. The responsibilities are divided as follows. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is responsible for identifying dredging needs and awarding and managing dredging contracts. The Maryland Port Administration is responsible for identifying placement options, managing dredged material placement under the MDE guidelines, and ensuring minimum 20-year capacity for dredged material. With the limited dredged material placement capacity, confined aquatic disposal is being investigated for the management of maintenance material dredged from harbor channels. The confined aquatic disposal dredged material placement method has been successfully implemented in other ports of the United States. In confined aquatic disposal, dredged material is placed in a depression underwater rather than in a placement facility on land. The next slides will show you how a confined aquatic disposal project works. Engineers design a confined aquatic disposal cell to reliably contain dredged material. The design is engineered using extensive modeling and scientific information gathered about the site location and the material to be placed. First, a depression, or cell, is excavated into the sand layer of the river bottom. Second, the sand that has been removed is used in a beneficial or innovative way, such as for nearby wetland creation or structural fill. Third, the depression is filled with dredged material. To be viable for a confined aquatic disposal cell, an area must have a high percentage of sand under the top layer of silts and clays. Sand is essential for two reasons. First, the sand surrounding a confined aquatic disposal cell ensures it is stable enough to contain the maintenance dredged material. Second, for a confined aquatic disposal project to be viable in adding capacity to the dredged material management plan, the sand cannot go into a Port Administration DMCF. This would offset any capacity gained by the use of confined aquatic disposal. The sand must be used productively and not placed in a DMCF to be worth the effort. Sand is a construction commodity, and the sand that is removed during the construction of a confined aquatic disposal cell will likely be used in nearby construction. The Maryland Port Administration is investigating whether confined aquatic disposal is a dredged material management method that is feasible for Baltimore Harbor maintenance dredged material in the future. Feasibility considerations include cost effectiveness, human and environmental health and safety, and benefits to the state. If the method were to be found feasible, it would then be weighed against other options for dredged material management, such as innovative reuse. The Maryland Port Administration has not completed investigations that would determine its feasibility. Once the investigations are complete, the findings will be shared publicly. The Maryland Port Administration will continue to work with regulators, community members, and scientists to implement science-based solutions for our 20-year dredged material management plan. If you would like additional information, you can find out more on our website, maryland-dmmp.com, or you can scan the QR code. On the website, you can learn more, download our fact sheet, and join our newsletter mailing list.